advocate for the Houston area, and I know I don't have to tell you guys this, who isn't afraid to mix it up on behalf of her constituents, and who has been a proven leader in bringing resources back to the district from Washington, D.C., is the always formidable 18th Congressional District Representative. Who am I talking about, y'all? Sheila Jackson Lee, Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. We should also mention that when it came to this park, she brought back federal dollars as well to make sure this was done. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our Congresswoman.
Will the elders allow me to have permission to speak? Let me take this brief moment to use it for just a bucket full of thanks. And first of all, Minister Muhammad will know that I'm going to acknowledge, and if I could jump down there and touch it, this is sacred ground. I feel compelled to say this is a sacred and solemn moment. And when I see Juicy Chase and Alvia and all of these historic persons, when I see Pastor Reverend Dr. Emeritus Lawson, who walked these streets, when I see the elders, and when I can acknowledge Sister Emma, 112 years old, probably the only one that's been kissed by Obama and Michelle, and told Michelle if she had seen Obama first, Michelle would have been out of the way. I'm only repeating what I heard in the White House. I do want to acknowledge esteemed pastor, senior leader, Reverend E.E. Coates, 97 years old, who's on this stage. You have to acknowledge the elders. I'm grateful for Lynn and Melanie. I'm grateful for Jackie Bostic, fighting in Washington, just came home this week. Ramon Manning, who is leading a great onward march, and then the threesome of Aljanita, Judge Bernie, and Theola. Give them a hand. They walk this place. They talk the talk and walk the walk. And then, of course, elected officials try to stay back. You know we do. But I know Dr. John B. Coleman is smiling because Representative Garnett Coleman has taken this like a father and nurtured it and touched it. And if you get in the way, you are mismatched. Representative Garnett Coleman, I love him to death. I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you. I watch you. He doesn't know I came there asking for a vote. He's about 10 years old and he was running a business. Let me thank Dwight Borkins. This is his territory. You know, in the old days, you lay down your territory. This is his territory, and he gives me permission to come in. I look behind his back and say, brother, you in the 18th Congressional District. But this is his territory. We have always been at our greatest because people who don't get anything from giving step up. And that's what I've watched the Kinders. I'm so grateful because as I've traveled my district, I've seen the unselfish giving and sharing that they do. And the good news about this park, as our great mayor, who I will acknowledge, the general in this place, is that it is open to the vastness of the city of Houston. It is for all, and it is for our neighbors, our historic neighbors, the El Dorado Club, the real darling that's going to have a new name. It is for the churches and the pastors that have surrounded this and prayed and lifted up. There's the pastors who prayed this morning. That's what this place is all about. And so I want to thank this mayor. You know what? God has a time and a place, does he not? Yeah. To all of the mayors before that I've served with, I served on city council, I thank them. But just as God had a place for President Barack Hussein Obama and the First Lady Michelle Obama that now we can look upon and say we know what good is, God had a place for Mayor Sylvester Turner, a little boy that grew up in Acres Home. And though he mentions the 4-4 all the time, God said, I'm going to break you out of your territory. I'm going to expand your territory. And look at him now, Mayor Sylvester Turner. Give him a big hand. I thank you, Gene Wu, and I thank you, President of the HISD Board, Wanda Adams. I know there are others here. I thank you all, the pastors that are here, but let me finish on this note. Allow me to take a moment to acknowledge my colleague, the Majority Whip, Congressman Steve Scalise, and ask all of you to pray for him. Pray for this nation. Pray that we do this more than not. That we go home to our districts and join people together that we do not know. Pray for those wounded, the Capitol Hill Police. Pray for the staff and volunteer. And know that America is great because of all of them. And then I ask you to pray for our missing sailors in the Asian Pacific. We pray for their families and hope that they are found, because that's what freedom is all about. And so I make this announcement today, and I'm asking that everybody here will be a person of one. We have in our midst a treasure. He's a father of Juneteenth. His name is Representative Al Edwards. He is a friend to all of us, but we don't know his walk and his journey. He discerned that Major Granger coming here 2.5 years later, that we as African Americans and our entire community needed to recognize Juneteenth. It's not bubble gum, it's not pop, it's not watermelon. I love all those things, but it is what he said. So in honor of him, we are introducing legislation to establish the Emancipation Trail, like the Selma Trail, starting from Galveston, coming all the way into 3rd Ward and 5th Ward and 4th Ward, and coming to Emancipation Park. And Senator Corden and Senator Cruz, you'll carry the legislation in the United States Senate. I'm going to carry it in the House. And we're going to have Emancipation Trail in honor of Representative Al Edwards and this great Emancipation Park. I hope that you will help me do that, because he is deserving of it. May God bless all of you. This is solemn and sacred ground. Touch the ground right now. You're on solid ground. God bless you all.